here, we are all thrilled and completely freaked out by the new series Resurrection. We couldn't stop talking about it yesterday, especially Barbara, which stars Omar Epps as a government agent. He brings some shocking news to a father's doorstep. Take a look.
Did your son go missing, sir? Mine. I haven't. He's okay.
Well, that would be fairly unlikely. My son died 32 years ago.
My apologies, Mr. Langston. There's obviously been a mistake.
Hello there.
I'm trying to green goes a million miles per hour.
Frog in a blender.
Daddy!
Oh my God! Please welcome Omar Epps. Wow, Omar. I mean, literally, when we knew you were coming yesterday, we couldn't stop, especially Barbara, about how much loving the show. But now, the Resurrection, it deals with the supernatural phenomena of people seemingly coming back from the dead and then reuniting them with their loved ones. Now, I'm not quite sure. Is this about the undead, zombies? What's going on in
It's
this?
about what happens when ordinary people are faced with extraordinary circumstances. That's what it's really about. So it's not a zombie show. It's not supernatural. It's a phenomenon that's happening that people are trying to wrap their minds around. And so, you know, it's a really interesting way into this big notion of the big what if. You know?
Yeah, well, as Sherri said, I love the show. But I wonder, the first show, the pilot, I guess, had a little boy who came back to life, was resurrected. We saw a little bit of it. So is every week, is there going to be somebody else who is resurrected? And do you believe in resurrection?
Well, no, the fun part is that it's, you know, the tone of the show is more serialized. So it's not someone's popping up every week. You got to really, give the audience time to get to know these characters and get invested into this family. And in terms of me believing in resurrection, I mean, anything is possible.
You know, you were on ER, you were on House MD, you've done these medical shows. Does it make you a little bit of a hypochondriac when you're around all those medical terms?
You just gotta wash your hands. That's like the simplest thing, but if you do that, you'll avoid a lot.
Okay. I have to ask you a question because in thinking about this show, it's based on a book,
Yes.
and then the French made a series that wasn't as good as this. But the thing I want to know, because I saw both because it's my thing, but what happens when somebody who people don't necessarily want to come back? I mean, because it seems to me if this is a phenomenon that's happening, is it possible? And I don't want to say Hitler, but someone who the world says we don't want another. What happens when this one comes back?
Well, the people. That's great that you bring that up because that's something we explore in the show, and you have to deal with it. You know, that's another theme of the show is what happens when the past spills itself into your present, and then how do you deal with it? You know, in terms of loss, there's pain, there's mourning, and you've done all this work to sort of patch that hole in your heart, so to say, and then it's ripped apart.
There's so many different aspects. Opie and I were talking a minute ago. There's so many different aspects when you watch this show of things to think about.
Yep.
It is, and there's a lot of aspects. First of all, I want to say, can you stand up? I got to see his outfit again that you have on. This is like amazing. Oh my gosh, thank you.
Design it?
No.
We love you. We want to thank you for coming, and I love Juice. We watch Juice all the time. If you remember Omar from Juice, we want to thank Omar Epps. Resurrection premieres this Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on ABC. We'll be right back. You gotta watch.